Sivaya Nama Tiruchitrambalam. After a very long break, I'm happy to meet all of you through our YouTube channel. Today, we are going to discuss about one very important and significant Thirupadikam from the 11th Thirumurai and the very first Thirupadikam in that, which is also called as Thirumuppasuram. The reason why it is called as Thirumuppasuram is because it is written in the format of a letter. And as per Shiva Siddhanta world as well as the Thirumurai world, we are able to see reference to two letters which is written by Lord Shiva himself. One of the letter which is written from the golden hall of the cosmic dancer, which is also called as Chidambaram, which is only like a 4-liner, and it is a very brief verse. This particular verse is written to one of our gurus, who is called as Umapati Sivacharya. He is considered to be the 4th guru as the Sandana Kuravar. Sandanam literally means lineage, Kuravar means guru. So he is the 4th guru. So the lineage starts all the way from Mekantar and all the way it goes to Umapati Sivacharya, who is considered to be the 4th guru. And out of the 14 Shastra texts from Shiva Siddhanta, Umapati Sivacharya has given us almost 8 of it. So we can see what level of the way how he has he can write verses and all these. He's quite a learned person, and of course he's a blessed person also. So the letter that was given by Lord Shiva to Umapati Sivacharya is instructing Sivacharya to give Petran Samban, who is one of the Shiva devotee, the highest form of initiation and to release him from the worldly bondages. Of course, Lord Shiva is the only one who takes care of providing realization to anyone. But in order to show the significance of Umapati Sivacharya and the importance of Sivacharya, Lord Shiva has played this holy game. And the verse goes very, as we said, right? It's very crisp, just a 4-liner, and it goes this way. அடியார்க்கு எளியன் சிற்றம்பலவன் கொற்றம் குடியார்க்கு எழுதிய கைச்சீட்டு படியின் மிசை பெற்றான் சாம்பனுக்கு பேதமர தீக்கை செய்து முக்தி கொடுக்க முறை. The objective is very crisp, as we said earlier, to provide salvation for one woodcutter whose name is Petran Samban. Of course, he's from a lower caste, but he's a very strong, ardent Shiva devotee, and moreover, he's a very dedicated person to Umapati Sivacharya. As we said, he's one of our Sandana Kuravar. The meaning of this verse goes this way. It is written in an active voice, so it goes this way. I, Sitrambalavan, who resides in Chidambaram, the golden platform of the cosmic dance, who is also simple and humble for ardent Shiva devotees. That's why he calls it as Adiyarku Eliyan, which means simple and humble to for all the Shiva devotees. Is writing a letter addressing to you who is living in the place called as Kottramkudi, because as we said, it is written in an active voice. So the you is basically our guru. My instruction for you is, please give the highest form of mukti to the person who is carrying this letter, named as Petran Samban, without any hesitations, any reservations, or any boundaries. That's it. So just a 4-liner verse, and it's all about giving mukti, or rather realization, to, basically it's the salvation, right, to one of the ardent Shiva devotee. The second letter we are able to see, I mean, we don't know based on the historical timing which one comes first and which one comes the next. Honestly, we have no idea, but I'm just going with the flow because I'm going to focus a little bit more deeper in this particular letter. So I'm taking this as the second. Today's focus is from the 11th Thirumurai and the very first Padikam, as we said, written by ThiruAalavaai Peruman. Aalavaai is nothing but another name for Madurai. This is actually because the earlier verse that we are able to see, that is written in the golden platform. This one is the silver platform. It is also called as Thirumuppasuram. Based on the Tamil dictionary, Thirumugam means a letter written by a higher authoritative person. So for example, if I'm writing a letter to my subordinate, it is called as Thirumuppasuram. Basically it is Mugam, Thirumugam. That's a way how we call it. Thiru is a word that usually we focus on anything relating to Lord Shiva in Shiva. So it is called as Thirumugam because Lord Shiva is a more authoritative person and he is writing a letter to someone below him. Pasuram means, literally it translates as to equation, or it can also be taken as a verse. Now, this particular verse has got 12 lines and it goes this way. Madi mali purisai, Mada Kudal, Padi misai nilavu, Pal nira varichirahu, Annam, Payil Poril, Alavayin, Manniya Sivanyan, Muridaru Matram, Paruva Konmu, Padiyana Pavalarku, Urumayin, Urimayin, Udavi, Olithihal, Kuruma Madipurai, Kulaviya Kudaikil, Seruma Ugaikum, Seralan, Kanga, Panbal, Yalpayil, Panapathiran, Tanpol, Yenpal, Anbat, Tanpal, Kanbadi, Karudi, Pondanan, Man Porul Koduthu, Varaviduppaduve. That's it. It's just a 12-liner. And when we want to just segregate it in order to understand it better, as we said, it is written in a formal letter format. So we all know whenever we talk about a letter, there must be a sender, there must be a receiver, and there must be an intended message. So we are able to see this format in this Padikam also. Lines 1 to 4 is about the sender, nothing other than Lord Shiva himself. Lines 5 to 8 is about the receiver, which is nothing but King Seraman Perumal Nayanar. 9 to 12, 12th line is the intended message. If we want to break this further down into a more clear picture, first line explains the natural beauty and the environmental richness of the place, which is called as Alavai, as we said, another name for Madurai. Second and the third lines talks about the magnificent view of the temple and its significance. Fifth and the sixth lines talks about the philanthropist characteristic of King Seraman. Seventh and the eighth lines talks about the valorship and the dharmic characters of the king. Ninth and the 10th lines talks about the love and compassion of Banabhaktirar. The last two lines are the order that has to be executed by the order that is given by Lord Shiva and that has to be executed by Seraman Perumal. Now, let's delve deep into this particular Padikam. Before we start, we need to be clear about two words here. Kudal is the name of the place. Alavai is the name of the temple. So the verse goes this way. The first 4 lines goes this way. Madi mali purisai Mada Kudal, Padi misai nilavu, Pal nira varichirahu, Annam Payil Poril Alavayin, Manniya Sivanyan Muridaru Matram. The meaning goes this way. The place, Alavai, is filled with skyscrapers, which looks very closer to the moon, and it is filled with a lot of water sources in which swans are seen swimming in a very beautiful and orderly manner. The feather arrangements on the swans adds on to the beauty of it. This is the innate beauty of the place, and this is the place of the sender of this letter, who is Lord Shiva himself. As we said, it is written in an active voice, so it says that I, Shiva, stay put in this place called as Alavai. This is what the first 4 lines is all about, and it talks about the natural beauty of this place. The next 4 lines, as we said, talks about the receiver of this letter, and the receiver is, as we know, Seraman Perumal Nayanar. Paruva Konmu Padiyana Pavalarku உருமையின் உரிமையின் உதவி ஒளித்திகள் குருமா மதிப்புரை குலவிய குடைக்கீழ் செருமா உகைக்கும் சேரலன் காண்க. This is about King Seraman Perumal Nayanar. He is also known as Kalaritru Arivar in Tiruthodathogai. To be honest, even in Tiruthodathogai, our Nambi Arurar, when he is referencing to King Seraman, he is giving a reference to our the dark clouds and rain, because we all know whenever we want to talk about the giving, as in whenever you want to give to someone, you need to give without any expectations, and none other than the rain we can take an analogy for this, right? So that is exactly what we are able to see here today in this Padikam. Also there is a reference to the rains. Whenever we want to use this kind of an analogy, especially the selfless giving attitude, rain comes as an example, all the way from Sangam literatures itself. As we all know, rain has no expectations or no prejudice, and it has no partiality, no differentiation, no discrimination, nothing. It only knows how to give, and that too unconditionally. Hence, this particular analogy is used in our Tiruthodathogai as well as here. Seraman Perumal Nayanar has the same quality as rain. He gives to every single being without any expectations or hesitations. That is why the phrase comes in as Seruma Ugaikum Seralan Kanga. That is the next line that we are able to see. Now, Seru Ma Ugaikum Seralan Kanga. That's a very beautiful phrase that we have to go a little bit deeper. You see, whenever we talk about a kingdom, even today, when we talk about today, how do you know that a country is strong? Usually we talk about the military abilities, or we go ahead with the GDPs. Usually it is a combination. Now, back then, it was all about army. Army of elephants, army of horses, army of human power, because that talks about the strength of the country itself. Similarly, when you are describing a king, who is King Seraman, by right, we should have always spoken about army of elephants. That too, taking the place called as Kerala, which is very famous for elephants. And even when we talk about elephants, we all know we usually cannot separate Kerala and elephants. To that extent, all the way from Sangam literature, it was always be taken as together. But over here, Lord Shiva, when he is writing this letter, he's not referencing to the power of elephants, rather he's using horses. I'm not sure whether we have to interpret it in this manner, like Lord Shiva is giving a hint to Seraman Perumal, saying that later when you are going to be getting a salvation, you're going to follow through Nambi Arura to Kailash in your horse. Because we all know the history of Seraman Perumal Nayanar, who followed Nambi Arurar. Nambi Arurar was going in a white elephant, whereas Seraman Perumal was following him in a horse. So probably Lord Shiva is hinting, saying that later you're going to see me in Kailash, but you're going to come in your horse. Not sure. It's only known to Lord Shiva anyways. So this is about the receiver. So we have seen the sender, we have seen the receiver. Now let's look at the finale 4 lines, which is the intended message. The verse goes this way: Panpal Yalpayil Panapattiran Tanpol Yenpal Anban Tanpal Kanbadu Karudi Pondanan Manporul Koduthu Varaviduppaduve. This message is to say Panapattiran is my ardent devotee. His devotion is the same as yours. You see the beauty, Tanpol Yenpal Anban, which means your devotion and his devotion is at par. This is also a message that Lord Shiva is sending Seraman Perumal, saying that I see your devotion. It's also a confession from Lord Shiva, saying that I have already realized what level of devotion you have on me. This historical event is also captured as in, when Seraman Perumal Nayanar was given this letter, and this letter, based on this letter, he gave he was instructed to give money. Basically, the history goes this way, right? So this has also been captured in ThiruAalavaai as the 42nd story, and also this has been captured in Periya Puranam. So there are text-based evidences for this particular event. It is also said that when Banapatra took this letter to King Seraman, the king was overjoyed and he was dancing, carrying this letter on his head. Obviously, right? If you imagine if Lord Shiva is sending us a letter today, we're going to be quiet. We will just put it up in YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, and we'll be like making a big hoo-ha out of it, obviously. And Seraman Perumal was overjoyed. No restrictions on that, right? So later what he did was he was like dancing because of overjoy. And after that, he opened up the safe depositories and asked Banapatra to take everything. It's also said that he was even ready to offer his position as a king. But Banapatra refused, and he refused to take the kingdom and everything. But what he wanted was only to take a little bit of gold along with him, just for his livelihood, and then he left. The letter states the king should send Banapatra back to Madurai, because Lord Shiva instructs Seraman Perumal, saying that, hey, don't retain Banapatra in your place itself. I need him back in Madurai, because he's the one who sings for me on a daily basis. So Lord Shiva has instructed the king to send Banapatra back. So based on those instructions, Banapatra went back to Madurai. If you do a small comparison with the first letter and the second letter, we can see a very significant difference. When Lord Shiva wanted to bestow Mukti on Petron Samban, his letter was only 4 lines, because we all know Mukti comes when someone retracts from words, hence the short and sweet poem. But when we need money from someone, we usually start beating around the bush. This is the worldly affair we are witnessing even today, right? If I want to get a loan from a bank, obviously we have to, go and convince them that we are capable of repaying it or whatever. So usually when you ask for money, it is not direct. That is why this padikam is also a bit lengthy. This padikam is also known as a Satvik padikam. The reason is there's a lot of references to white, and we all know the common color known for Satvik is white. We are able to see the reference to milk, moon, white umbrella, which is the entourage, and the place this padikam is also sung, which is the silver stage, which is also a white in color. So 5 references to white denotes the Satvik attributes. Milk refers to Na, moon refers to Ma, Verli Ambalam, which is the silver place where Lord Shiva can perform his dance, the platform that is known as Si. The white umbrella refers to Va, and the swan references to Ya. Hence the 5-letter syllable mantra Namah Shivaya is also resonated in this. So we can also take this as an initiation padikam in the path of Saivism. One lesson for us to take note here is Lord Shiva has no boundaries when we show our true love and affection towards him. You see, Banapatra is a musician, and King Seraman is a very powerful king, but Lord Shiva never discriminated against them. In fact, he even took a step forward to establish a friendship between both of them. This is something very unique that we are able to see, and Lord Shiva is well known for uniting Shiva devotees. History has shown this to us also. Like for example, King Seraman was united with Nambi Arurar. Nambi Arurar was united with Erkon Kalikamar. Actually, even in our lives, we can see this as an example. I live in Singapore, but how many Shiva devotees around the world has joined me in this journey? It's all because of Lord Shiva, isn't it? It's all His grace. He is the one establishing this friendship so that we can all travel together in this journey towards Kailash. With this, I conclude the very first padikam from the 11th Thirumurai. I'll come back again with another padikam very soon. Until then, Shivaya Nama, Tiruchitrambalam.